Welcome to my 20th episode of Crafting Endra. Let's flash back and time-lapse to what is done. My name is Endra, a boat builder in progress. I've stranded in a tiny medieval town near the river, where I keep on dreaming and keep on building a vessel to sail the world. The desire to sail the world, to venture where society has not yet touched and is taught to draw nature, where people are not corrupted by a modern complex system, was something I had crossed over from my boyhood. It is that call what made me take the challenge to build my own boat, for a journey I will unravel when time comes. It is what drives me still to continue. And yet, it is by shipwrecking, trying to live this very dream that Endra was brought to existence as a project. After having seen a certain level of professional success in Europe in my early 30s, I have turned my back to the old world for an older world. I was living and struggling in Africa, more precisely in the current of the canal de Mosambique in the Indian Ocean. A shuffle of exotic beauty and dilapidation was my life and nearly my doom, when I saw myself drowning in the same misery of so many islanders. Ill-hearted, I left after 2 years my friends and work. In my luggage, an idea to set out again on a boat. I settled myself back in Switzerland in an old shabby farming house. Avoiding dark thoughts, I studied boatplans and construction methods. While I returned back to my former occupation as a sales manager to establish a proper income, I spent all evenings and weekends laboring on my new project. The result of these first efforts were a construction plan and a model in scale 1:8. But as machines and lumbers rolled in the abandoned cowshed at the end of the farming house, my actions were recognized by an annoyed neighborhood. Their disaccord to my plans led to several encounters with the police. It was a spark in the dark when I visited a nearby historic town situated romantically at the riverside of the Rhine, and stumbled over a post, a flat to rent, and just below it a basement opening to the street large enough to fit a 23-foot boat. Endra's keel is composed of 2 oak beams, on their thickest 8-inch. They are held together by bronze bolts. Bronze bolts are also fastened together to that wood, which is oak too. The 26 frame pairs are made of 2 steam-bent oak battens, which are glued together in order to have them stiff and strong. These were pinned down to the keel by floor timbers. At the beginning, I fancied to harvest the timber from the forest of my hometown myself. I knew of many fallen trees resting untouched for years, and so was my first purchase a decent chainsaw. But I abandoned the idea very soon as I realized what it takes from trunk to board. Other supply channels has opened though. With my cousin, we secured the legacy of a past carpentry, what served for the framework. A farmer friend contributed me several massive boards of oak which were lingering in the shed for decades. Only for the keel beams I had to walk to the sawmill. So I could muddle through and the project took shape. As the backbone was written, I intended to plank it bottom up, upside down. The question had to be resolved of what material the planks were to be. My new workshop and accommodation was but some 100 meters from a huge wood retailer, where I met a very kind director. We talked through the project and concluded that I shall invest in a stock of mahogany. So the garboard was set, and soon, plank by plank, the hull emerged. A month later, the day has arrived, and I called in friends and neighbors. A dozen pair of steady hands carried her out of the shop. It was a moment of awe when Endra dropped over starboard and landed on her keel. Now she was a boat. Earlier, I took a long ride to the North Sea. My mission to pick up an engine I found on eBay. It was something to fit my low budget, an old Volvo pencil. So I packed the engine in the trunk of my YW Golf and returned home. After a few strokes, it looked like new and I lifted it into the boat. I then laid the spruce deck beams. Spruce for weight and economical reasons. The goal was to notch them into the beam shelf, abating as little meat as possible. The deck beams are supported by 7 pairs of steam bent and laminated hanging and lodging knees. Building a wooden boat has been a journey of many challenges yet, which required skills I haven't had before. I was milling logs, sawing planks, steam bending frames, laminating floors, drifting shaft holes, notching deck beams, and there is still a lot to learn ahead. This has been also very exciting, and sometimes it was hard, but to see what is now let me always keep focused, and so I go on and on. I hope I can have you too along this project, and look forward when Endra first flies her sails.
My boat, sweet anger, sweet salvage, cast anchor upon my finger.